Okay, going to be reviewing some smokeless image products here. What I've got is the Volt X2 and their CE4 Atomizer that they sell as oil. Okay, I've got an end cap here that comes off. This is basically a vapable pass-through, meaning that you can vape while you charge. And when you've got it plugged in, excuse me, there is a light on the bottom. And that's how you know that it's charging, and when you unplug it, or excuse me, when it finishes charging, then that blue light will go out. Okay, so to get started, as you can see, vapor production is okay. I've got some 70% VG in there. It wicks really well, never get a dry hit off of this. It is an 808 connection, and everything else, variable voltage that I have, uses a 510 connection or an ego connection. So I can't put this on something and see how high it will go. Everything that Volt sells is 3.6 volts, so it's all fixed volts. So this is it basically. Okay. In a mini, here is another 808 battery, and this is going to be the Nano right here. And so I'm just going to kind of swap them both around and show you guys what each battery does. Okay. As you can tell, the mini, these aren't going to work very well on them. Okay. Go ahead and swap that one around. Looks really funky, but it fits, so let's give it a shot. A little bit better, but definitely a little bit more strange. Now, I don't know that you would want to vape this with either one of those, because it seems like the only way you can set this down is if it's on its side. And as far as leaks go, eventually they probably would leak or flood themselves out from sitting on their sides. Okay, so let's go ahead and try the Nano on here. They've got a couple different cones. When I'm running the Nano, which isn't very often, I will have this taller beauty ring right here. Okay. It just kind of completes the look. It's pretty nice. Not bad vapor production from the Nano either. I believe that at certain times the Nano has better vapor production, but it seems like it dries out more so than what the CE style one does, or the Stardust style one does. Okay, this one has a lot better flavor. Okay, it brings out the flavor really nicely. Either one of these, you're not going to get an ounce of throat hit. These juices are 18 milligrams, and I'm not getting anything remotely close to what seems like a throat hit. But vapor production is on par with something you would expect from a fixed 3.6 Ego style battery. Okay. One other thing about the X2 is that it's an automatic battery, which is kind of neat. It never fails unless the battery dies. So basically what the automatic means, for those people that don't know a lot about the mini cigarettes, electronic cigarettes, excuse me, like this, is that when you pull air through, they turn on automatically. When you get done pulling air in, they shut off automatically. Okay, so it's just like that. No worries about pushing no buttons. Okay, so here comes the honest reviews about this stuff. It leaves you wanting more. Okay, if this was all I had, I would have went back to smoking cigarettes basically. I don't recommend these smaller batteries for people that are just starting out, and the reason being is because everybody reacts differently whenever they quit the stinkies and go to an electronic cigarette, okay? Reason being is that what are your cravings going to be like? Could you get enough vapor and nicotine to satisfy your craving for the stinky, okay? And for me, something like this just wouldn't cut it. And I've been vaping for a year now, so maybe it's just the fact that I do it too much, that I like it too much. It's become more of a hobby for me. Also, something that I need to do. I mean, it's not like I'm going to kill people if I don't have a vape. But then again, at the same time, when I'm not vaping or I can't see my PV, then, you know, I want to go to it, so to speak. So, as far as the Nano goes from Smokeless Image, I would definitely have to give that one a thumbs down because of the fact that not only does it only hold 1 ml of juice, but when you first load this thing up, it leaks out the bottom, which eventually it will stop leaking, and when you refill it, it won't leak anymore. But just having it filled up and setting it down on the desk right out of the package and having the thing leave a puddle on the desk is pretty damn annoying, okay? The way this thing works, though, is that it has a couple of little holes down here at the bottom, so it's bottom fed, and it's just got a metal cylinder right there in the middle, okay? And that metal cylinder is where the air goes through. That's where the wick and coil is, down in here, okay? It's 808 connection. The tip on this thing unscrews, and then you have that metal stem right there. That's where your threads are for the cap. You got a seal there and got a seal here. Okay, so it doesn't leak when after the initial fill, basically, okay? And that's upsetting, though. I mean, because as long as electronic cigarettes have been out, you would figure that they have that sort of little fiddly BS stuff already taken care of. This is a new product, or at least newer product, and so, you know, every time they come out with something, you expect it to be better than before. However, this one is not. The flavor that you get out of this thing is mute as all get out. I got some really nice, which is my favorite DIY fruit vape in here, and you can't even taste it. I mean, you can't taste anything. The vapor is very cool, so if you like cool vapor, you might still like this, but to be honest with you, I can't recommend it because you can't taste the juice, and it just seems like a waste of space, time, and money. I mean, it is easy to fill. Let me show you guys how to fill it. This one here is getting kind of low, so waste some more of my DIY. At least it's probably only about right around $2 for 30 mils, so not bad. I'll throw another mil in there. So I just kind of stick it up to the stem right there. Oops, I don't know if that's gonna, that made it in. Okay, and then just slowly but surely. It's kind of awkward. Yeah. See, it likes to slip. Okay, so there you have it. One other thing too, in the beginning, maybe I filled this thing up too much. I mean, maybe just only in the beginning fill it up halfway. Okay, did get a little bit on the outside. See, I can smell this stuff, and it smells wonderful. And anything else, it tastes really well when you're vaping it, but it's just like there's zero flavoring in it when you're using this Nano. And I have 3 of these, and I've used all 3 of them, and they're all 3 the exact same way. Okay, so it's not just one was a fluke thing. I've seen all the reviews on the website, and they say how great it is. This is what they've been looking for and all this other stuff, but really, come on. I think what happens is a lot of people get really psyched up because they get something brand new, and it throws out this massive cloud of vapor according to them, and then they decide, wow, this is the best thing since sliced bread, so they go on there and they leave a description and a review that is a lot better than what it actually should be, and then probably a day or so later you get tired of puffing on plastic or whatever, and then you just, you know, that's, I would love to see follow-up reviews on that site. But anyways, one other bad thing about it, and then I'm going to move on, is the fact that the draw is really tight. Now, without that cover on here, it does open up just a tiny bit, but it's not really enough that the tight draw goes away. You know, you get tired of vaping on something when you're trying to suck a baseball through a water hose kind of situation. You know, it just, you can't do that for too long. And when you got something that's not satisfying you in other ways, no throat hit and no taste to your juice, it really leaves a lot to be desired. So you try to make up for that, and you basically fall flat. I mean, without this, it kind of looks like crap. You can see the threads right there. So let's see, what do we got for that? We have somewhere, here it is. It's on a different battery here. We have this. I cover up the threads. It still might hinder the airflow. We'll see. Okay, so that makes it look a little better. Can you hear that popping? This thing, it's, I don't know if that's because it's starving for juice or if it's flooding or what. See, I can taste the juice now, but that's because I think that I'm having some of it actually go in my mouth. Yeah, when it was popping, it was kind of coming up the tube. Now I can taste it a little bit more. So, you know, it falls flat in more ways than one, and nobody wants to be annoyed over this kind of shit. So maybe people should save themselves the hassle and not buy into that shit, because I don't know about you guys, but if you've been vaping for about a year, then you know there was a lot of stuff out there that was subpar throughout the you know, year or however long that you've been vaping yourself, and it gets real old. Okay, so maybe I'll be able to save somebody from that. But as far as this guy goes, never one time has it flooded. There's no dampness on the inside of the connector. The taste is there. The only thing that I can say that is a negative about this is that, again, there is no throat hit. You wish for a little bit more power, so that maybe you can get it a little warmer and hopefully get a more satisfying vape out of it. I would like to believe that this with a warmer coil would actually not only make more vapor, but it would make somewhat of a throat hit for you. Okay, so let me go ahead and vape on this thing one more time and we'll wrap this up. Yeah, that's definitely good. That is some root beer. It tastes like Barks root beer. It's really good. You can definitely taste it through this. I believe that this is going to be the only thing that I use this 808 connection battery with, because it's the only thing that actually at least brings some kind of pleasure. Okay, so there you have it. That is the Volt. This is the Clearomizer review, because this is the only Clearomizers that they offer at Smokeless Image. So if you have to have a Clearomizer from Smokeless Image, you're best to go with this one here. Okay. Alright, thanks for watching. Please rate the film.